Law of legalities. So these are the lesson plans that I have set forth for my life and whoever that do believes and wants to participate. So it is written by me and prepared by myself, as the path in life and journey had obviously let me know to how these are the obvious signs into reaching prosperity and infinite life, infinite dreams. So, the overview and purpose is to avoid serious death tolls and to provide longevity of lives, meaning the serious death tolls are the dangers and harms that one may have, including disease and whatever else. So, it is not the actual passing as in terms of really passing into infinite dreams and infinite life when we are talking about death. These are the bad parts of death that we are talking about, such as pain, agony, and stress and everything else that will lead to a bad death. So everyone is entitled and deserving of a nice death. For example, a nice passing to the very next life and infinite dreams. So the education standards for this topic and perhaps this lesson is the obvious sign of the biblical studies of the Ten Commandments, the knowledge of divine couples such as Adam and Eve in the biblical book on the very planet called Earth. Common sense skills is knowing what causes killings and home invasions. So, the common sense skills in knowing what causes killing and home invasions is the obvious signs. Not proper secured home safety locks and so forth, including cameras and whatever else that you may have, tools, gadgets, everything else that you may need, which are the common sense. But when you're looking at the entire picture, this also refers to the three gates in Buddhism as to passing and entering and shutting the gate back for safety and zero harm. As we had discussed in the prior topic about obviously the three gates in Buddhism, way of living and way of life. So the objective is to become immortal, meaning to not have to die or age as in body clock that surpass your body age. So it's health acquirings, meaning that you will be succeeding in happier, healthier health as an immortal. You would acquire these type of healthy live beings in upon yourself, meaning that you will be completely immortal and free from harm and everything else. So to reach infinite dreams, infinite life, and protection, and what is the obvious passing as in terms of love, life, dreams, and everything else. So the materials needed is proper authorities, rules, regulations of not harming one or many lives, such as machines and life movie editing. So these are the obvious signs. For example, myself passing the first bronze gate. There was no proper authorities to secure and not let someone else come in to snatch him away. So these are the obvious signs why it did not make me succeed, nor did it let me pass. Because someone had not secured a door properly to allow some woman to enter and snatch him away. Which is why that path did not legally, and it is not legally allowed. So there is the obvious sign of some sort of invasion and or something that is unsafe. So, the rules and regulations of not harming one or many lives, such as machines and live movie editings. So, these are the signs that I have noticed around 2005. There was a TV device called TiVo. So, it can record and rewind, and it can go back and do all these types of things. And what I had seen in my dream was someone literally editing people on people. So these are obvious crimes, because life cannot edit other lives. As the creator had created life for every person, for this race, for everything else, to be successful and win infinite life, infinite dreams. But there's always going to be the bad guy that does something bad. So the reason why this happens is common sense, that people need to be aware of what is going on, and people are deserving of orientation upon entering, for example, life and anything else. And it obviously seems that many did not get that orientation. So upon entering, for example, school education, things like that, there's always an orientation, jobs, things like that. But once someone takes those important parts out, you will most likely be lost and have to find your way around, and or you're going to have to find your own way to gather information and everything else yourself. So the verification steps to check for students' understanding. So if we're going to teach this, obviously the understandings of, okay, I'm going to let you know, I got this layout from Google Docs. So I was just writing it the way the Google Docs was, and I placed it the way I understood to place it as. So the understanding of memory begin of this life maze. So if you enter somewhere, obviously your maze could be something else. For example, you might have your divine partner, or you might have your children, or you might have something, right? So you might have your real parents. But for me, I entered a maze that is an obvious sign and indication that it is something to do with infinity, meaning black, white, and blue. So obviously, if I'm love element entering infinity maze, obviously it has something to do with infinity love, meaning dreams, life, and everything else. And this is why my memory, and as I trace back and track back, it is an obvious sign that my maze has something to do with infinity love. So upon death and solving one's own purgatory with reasons and positivity is also. So if you are battling through purgatory and you know you're in purgatory, then obviously you need to come up with an idea and a plan. If you didn't get orientation, like when you entered this very life and you perhaps lost your memory like Jane and John, then you're obviously going to have to do a lot of reflecting. And so I did. So to find the divine partner in this very maze, as symbolically as a blind person, for example, love is blind. So to find the divine partner, the obvious signs are, what would it be? Would it be a real kiss? What would it be? Would it be some sort of ritual? What would it actually be? So to complete the maze of life, obviously completion in religious grounds and things like that is an obvious sign of trancing, laying down the number 8 as the infinite life, infinite dreams, as the number 8 is obviously an ongoing infinity, exactly spelled with 8 individual letters. So it's an obvious sign that to complete this maze, I would need my divine partner to pass and go to the very next life as to infinity. So the activities and how to describe to reinforce this lesson upon others if they are wondering how to access and or get their divine partner, or if they did enter this maze, and if they are somehow symbolically similar to myself, then obviously it is to never encounter harm and heartbreak nor pain, making the journey prosper for future of mankind. So as other people may enter other places, if they do remember and recall, it is an obvious sign that at the end of my maze and the emergency contact, after my murder, after everything else, the emergency contact was Satan. And he walked out with white planets, symbolically the white wall, and dark blue soul. So the emergency contact to my very maze was him. But why did I have to get an emergency contact? Because I couldn't complete this very maze. And the reason is an obvious sign. Someone had broken in, and someone had threatened this very infinity.